Hello class 10th, hope you all are good and concentrating in your studies. Now children, today also we will continue the same chapter, so that is your circulatory system. Now today in this video we will discuss about the blood vessels and that is your arteries, veins and capillaries and hepatic portal system and its significance. Right, now let's start blood vessels. Now the blood vessels are branched tubes extending from the heart to all parts of the body, through which blood circulates in the body and supply different nutrients and useful substances. Now all of you know the blood vessel which supply all the nutrients and which extend from the heart, these are your arteries. And arteries, then they branch and they form arterioles. Arterioles keep on branching and then they form capillaries. And capillaries terminate, arise new capillaries that keep on uniting progressively. Capillaries unite to form venules, which in turn form veins. In this way, there are three types of blood vessels: arteries, capillaries, and veins. Now, first is your artery. Artery is a blood vessel that carries blood away from the heart to other parts of the body. They are distributory in function. The artery that carries deoxygenated blood is the only pulmonary artery. Otherwise arteries always carry oxygenated blood. Now arteries has thick middle muscular layer of smooth muscles and a narrow lumen and deeper placed in the body. The artery ultimately branch to form arteriole, and therefore arterioles are the smallest artery, and the arteriole then branch to form the capillary network. The wall of an artery is made up of three concentric layers of tissues, and these are tunica externa, and tunica externa is the outermost coat made up of connective tissue. Second is your tunica media. It is a middle very thick coat. It is made up of smooth walled muscles and elastic connective tissue. Now third one is your tunica interna, and it is the innermost coat made up of flattened cells, what they are called endothelium. These cells rest upon an elastic layer. Now arteries have they have a narrow lumen. Just look at the narrow lumen. Lumen is that through which the blood flow. So look at this diagram. Now arteries have thick muscular wall and are highly elastic blood vessels with narrow lumen. Blood in arteries flows in spurts. Why? Because actually it flows under pressure. That's why, and which is created by the heartbeat. And valves are absent in the arteries. Why? Because there is no danger of backward flow of blood in the arteries, right? Because the blood is flowing downward and from the heart, the heart is pumping blood and then it is passing through the through the arteries, right? Okay, now next is your veins. The veins are blood vessels that carry blood towards the heart from the different parts of the body, means they are collecting in function. And the vein that carry oxygenated blood is the only pulmonary vein. Otherwise veins always carry deoxygenated blood. Vein has thin middle muscular layer of smooth muscle and wider lumen. They have thin wall and wider lumen and found superficial on the body, means you can see these blood vessels only they are just found below the skin. It has a semilunar valves in its inner lining. The wall of veins is also made up of the same three coats as that of arteries, that is tunica externa, tunica media and tunica interna. But their wall is very thin and less elastic as compared to the wall of arteries. Because of thin wall, veins have wide lumen and they also contain valves at regular intervals. The wall of veins is thin and less elastic as the blood is not pumped into them with pressure. Now the question is, why the veins have wide lumen and they have valves, right? The answer is wide lumen helps to collect the blood, and valves present in veins, they prevent the backward flow of blood, and the blood in the veins, it flow always uniformly. Okay, now look at the structural difference between arteries and vein. Artery has a thick wall and narrow lumen. Veins have what? Thin wall and wide lumen. Now arteries, they don't have valve, V-A-L-V-E, valve, and veins have valve, right? And in arteries, the flow of blood is always away from the heart, and in vein, the flow of blood is always towards the heart. Once again, just look at the differences between arteries and veins. Arteries carry oxygenated blood from heart to rest of the body. Veins carries deoxygenated blood from various body parts to heart. In arteries, blood flows under high pressure, while in veins, the blood flows under low pressure. Arteries, valves are absent in arteries, while valves are present in veins to prevent the backward flow of blood. Arteries have thick wall and elastic muscular walls, while veins have thin and non-elastic walls. One more difference is here: arteries have narrow lumen, and veins have wide lumen. And arteries, pulmonary artery is the only artery which carries deoxygenated blood, and pulmonary vein is the only vein which carries oxygenated blood. Now next is your capillary. Capillary are actually very tiny blood vessels which are ultimately formed by the branching of artery. It has a layer of endothelium made up of squamous epithelium and also has a narrow lumen. It is permeable and helps in the exchange of nutrients, respiratory gases and nitrogenous waste to and from the tissues. Means from inside to outside and outside to inside. Now look at the structure of capillary. Capillary, the wall of capillaries is very thin. They do not have tunica externa and tunica media. They have only tunica interna. Now the question is, why capillaries have thin wall? What is the use of thin wall of capillaries? Actually, the thin wall of capillaries, they facilitate the exchange of various materials between the blood and tissues through the wall of capillaries. Now look at the functions of capillaries. Now capillaries allow outward diffusion of oxygen into the intracellular fluid and from there into the tissue cell. Now simply oxygen diffuses from the blood to the body tissues through capillaries. And capillaries allow inward diffusion of carbon dioxide from the intracellular fluid. Then capillaries also allow inward and outward diffusion of substances like glucose, amino acids, urea, hormones, etc. Actually, capillaries have very thin wall. That's why what's happened? It allows WBCs to squeeze out through the capillary valves. And what this process is called? Diapedesis. And by means of amoeboid movement. Actually, these WBCs are amoeba in shape, and what's happened? That's through this amoeboid movement, they squeeze out through the wall of capillaries. The capillaries have the power of dilating, that is your vasodilation, and contracting means vasoconstrictions, which respectively increase or decrease the blood supply to the body parts. Actually, when vasoconstriction takes place, then blood supply reduces, and what's happened? The skin turn yellow. And when vasodilation takes place, then blood supply increases and skin become red or pink. Now next is what is hepatic portal system. All the portal veins which carry their contents into liver collectively constitute hepatic portal system. And what is portal vein? A vein that starts with capillaries and ends in capillaries is called portal vein. Veins collecting blood from different parts of alimentary canal, that is your stomach, small intestine, large intestine, they do not join the posterior vena cava. right? What they do, actually all of them, such as gastric gland, which is gastric vein, which is coming from stomach, superior vein, superior mesenteric vein, which is coming from small intestine, and inferior mesenteric vein from large intestine, they join together, and what they form? They form a single large vein, and that is called hepatic portal vein. And this hepatic portal vein enters into liver and breaks into capillaries. Now new capillaries are formed from them and join and rejoin, then they form hepatic portal vein. Now they open into inferior vena cava that return blood to the right auricle of the heart. Now look at the diagram. Here you can see what ascending colon, descending colon. What these are? These are the parts of large intestine. Now you can see small intestine. Only a small part of small intestine is shown in this diagram, and stomach is there. Now all the blood actually collected from alimentary canal is rich in digested food, and excess of glucose from it is converted into glycogen and stored in liver. That's why this blood from these alimentary canal or gut, first it goes to liver, right? And through this hepatic portal vein or hepatic portal vein. Now the required amount of glucose is now released into the blood that undergoes general circulation. Means the amount of glucose which is required at present by the body, that come in the blood and go for general circulation, and rest of the glucose is converted into glycogen and stored in liver. In this way, hepatic portal system monitors glucose level in the blood. And hepatic portal system also help in detoxification. If any toxic substance is absorbed into the blood from the alimentary canal, then it is detoxified in the liver cell, and in this way these toxic substances are prevented from entering directly into the heart. Okay, now look at the diagram. Behind the stomach there is a very important organ that is called spleen. Spleen is a large lymphatic organ which is reddish brown in color and is located just behind the stomach and above the left kidney. And what's its main function? It acts like a blood reservoir, and in any emergency it releases the stored blood into the bloodstream. It also produces lymphocytes, destroys worn out RBCs, and in an embryo it produces RBCs. Now next is your name the blood vessels which enter into the liver. That is your two blood vessels enter into the liver. One is your hepatic artery which supply blood oxygenated blood to the liver, and second is your hepatic portal vein which comes from your alimentary canal or digestive tract or gut, and pour that blood to liver. Right now, next is the blood vessel which leaves the liver. That is your hepatic vein, which join with inferior vena cava, and then it pour its blood into right auricle. Okay, now next is your which blood vessels supply blood to kidney. That is your renal artery, and which the blood vessel which leaves the kidney. That is your renal vein. Right, so you can say that renal arteries supply oxygenated blood to kidney, and renal vein collect the deoxygenated from the kidney. Okay, now next is your which blood vessels supply oxygenated blood to the heart. That is your coronary artery. Which artery? Coronary artery supply blood to the heart. Okay, now next is actually it is a simplified pathway of the circulatory system of man. Now first labeling is your superior vena cava which bring blood from the upper part of the body. Second is your aorta which supply blood to different parts of the body. Third is your pulmonary artery which carry blood from heart to lungs, and this is your deoxygenated blood. Pulmonary vein bring blood from lungs to heart, and this is your oxygenated blood. Now fifth one is your hepatic artery which supply blood to the liver. Sixth is your hepatic portal vein which bring blood from small intestine or gut, and seventh one is your hepatic vein, and eighth is your inferior vena cava. Now the question is, which vessel contain the highest concentration of amino acids and glucose soon after a meal? That is your hepatic portal vein. Okay, thank you children.